The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Like, why do we keep going back to our narcissistic parents for love, acceptance, and approval when we know it's going to be like going to the hardware store for milk? What if the key to true hope for healing is letting go of false hope? When we can release the fantasy of who we ideally want our parents to be and see them for who they actually are, then we can finally heal on a deeper level. Hi, I'm Stara Shakti, licensed marriage and family therapist with a private practice in Los Angeles. Welcome to my channel about all things healing from trauma. In my private practice, I work with adult children of narcissistic or emotionally immature parents. Maybe your parents were like this. They met your physical and material needs, but not your emotional or psychological needs. Maybe they couldn't give you the nurturing that you needed. Maybe you never felt truly seen, heard, or validated. Maybe you didn't have the time or space to have your own needs and wants because your parents' needs and wants took center stage. Maybe you've just realized this, or maybe you've done years of therapy to heal your family of origin wounds. You've worked through a lot of your childhood trauma. Maybe you've even come to forgive your parents, yourself, the universe. And maybe you're still in touch with your parents, or maybe you went no contact years or even decades ago. You had to heal from their narcissistic abuse or neglect. But despite all of this, maybe there's still a small part of you holding out a sliver of hope your narcissistic parents will someday change as they get older, sicker, etc. And maybe you don't want to admit this to anyone, even yourself. But if this resonates, you are not alone. One of the hardest and final stages of healing from parental narcissistic abuse is letting go of that last little bit of hope that they'll change. Why is this? Narcissists almost never change. This stage requires you to really grieve the loss of your fantasy family. You know, the parents you always wished you'd had. Really feel and move through all your feelings in this stage, your anger, resentment, frustration, and in the end, mostly sadness. Let yourself cry. It's okay. Maybe your parents didn't understand your mental, emotional, or psychological needs. Know how to see, hear, encourage, or validate you. Know how to love you. Maybe they never learned how to parent you or see you for you. So how could they teach you how to grow up, be an adult, be emotionally mature? Sometimes you have to learn unconditional love from other people in your life. Parental figures like grandparents, aunts and uncles, family friends, neighbors, teachers, social workers, and others. This person can also be your therapist, who can act as a surrogate parent, a safe, secure attachment figure you never had growing up. Here are 10 tips to reparent yourself and give yourself the love, kindness, and respect that you deserve. 1. Know this: you are an adult now, not a child at the mercy of your parents anymore. So you can say no to them and not fear the same consequences. 2. Realize you are a separate person from your parents. See, narcissistic families tend to be enmeshed and codependent, whereas in healthier families, the goal is to differentiate or individuate from your parents. 3. Figure out who you are as a person. What are your values, beliefs, goals, and dreams in life, independent of your parents? 4. Take steps, big or small, towards being more of who you are. and who you want to be. Believe in the power of your dreams. 5, find like-minded others aligned with your worldviews with whom you can be in community. Because it is so important to have folks in your life who see and get you. 6, get better at regulating your feelings and emotions so that you're in charge of them, not the other way around. If you need tips on emotional regulation, watch our previous video, which I will link at the end. 7, learn the art of self-care, because self-care leads to self-compassion, self-forgiveness, and self-love. 8, practice self-sufficiency. Learn to be an independent person who's not dependent or reliant on others, but who lives and works interdependently. 9, learn how to set and reinforce good boundaries, both with your parents and with others in your life. Also, if you want tips on boundaries, watch our previous video on this, which I'll link on at the end. And finally, 10, soothe and heal your inner child. Listen to it, find out what it needs, and learn to nurture it. Okay, final words of wisdom. Parental narcissistic abuse is not personal, it's not about you, and it never was. Also, the opposite of love isn't hatred, it's indifference. So, the end goal of healing from narcissistic parents is neutrality. Ideally, a state of peace of mind. Loving our content? Then show us some love by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And whatever you do, remember, there's always hope for healing.